Let you know that I'm still here. So blessings to you. For those of you who are not familiar with me, my name is Tanika Maria. I'm a certified Christian life coach, author, speaker, and I'm all about getting real, being healed, and moving forward in emotional wholeness, peace, and clarity. I'm about all things relationships, emotional healing, mastery, and just walking in that peace, right? It's about walking in that peace. And for those of you that are joining, definitely say hello to me in the chat so I can shout you out. I might not be able to catch it quick enough, but definitely I will definitely try to shout you out at the end or at some point in the broadcast. But really quickly, share this out. Those of you on YouTube, Facebook, Haps, wherever you are. Maybe it's going live to Periscope. I don't know what's up with that, But wherever you're listening from, as you're led to do so, please share this out. So we see a lot of self-improvement out here. Hey there, Phil McNeil. We see a lot of material, content, books, videos, YouTube videos, just all kinds of stuff on self-improvement. Those of you that, you're actively engaging, you want to evolve, you want to be a better person. And for those of you who are Christian, and as you know, I always bring things from the faith-based perspective. But we're always wanting to be, be the fullness of who God called us to be. We want to heal. We want to get over our past. We want to show up and be fully activated into the men and women that we're called to be. And sometimes we get impatient with ourselves. Sometimes we're in such a rush to do better and to improve ourselves that it actually hinders us. And what I wanted to share with you on today, that being in a hurry to improve yourself, sometimes the only thing it does is slow down the process. Sometimes it just simply slows you down. And what I've come to realize, and these are the pointers, and then I'll be off of here, but slow learning is the best learning. Slow learning is the best learning, because you want to see what we are so prone to do, and I'm guilty of the same thing. You get a hot fresh new revelation, you get a hot new fresh, you read something, it's like whoa, and it clicks with you, and something lands on your spirit, something lands in your mind, and you know that thing resonates with you as truth, and you go boom, I'm gonna do that right away. Well, hold your horses, hold your mule. Just hold on, because or what we tend to do, we get a new revelation, we get a new insight, we get a new understanding, and we're so quick to run tell people, and it hasn't really rooted in us yet. See, that's why slow learning and the process of self-improvement has to be, we got to take our time. It's patience. They don't call it a run with God. That's why they say we walk with God. We don't run and trot with God. We walk. Life is a journey. And every time we come to a new level of truth, every time we come to a new level of healing, every time there's a new insight, revelation, insight, or understanding that we receive, we learn something about ourselves. We get a new revelation about God. We learn something about how we showed up in a relationship. We learn more about our family background. We realize our parents and who they were and what they were dealing with and their issues and how that impacted us on today. And now we got this new revelation and this new truth. And sometimes we want to be so quick to think we're going to change just like that. Like you're going to change 20 years of an ingrained behavior. You're going to change 15, 20 years of a lie that you believed about yourself, a lie that you believed about God, a lie that you believed about other people and relationships and situations in life. All of this conditioning and judgments that we've made over time that was based not in the truth, but in a lie or coming from a wounded place. And now, God can do a miracle. He can do something quick and swift. But most of the time, it's going to take time to undo that. Slow learning. It's like slow down, you'll get there faster. Slow down, you'll get there faster. Being in a hurry to deal with all your stuff so quick, so fast. Being impatient with yourself when you slip and dip and make mistakes. Being impatient with yourself when you're trying, you got a lot going on, right? You got a lot going on. Hey there, Venus. And then you're trying to just do it too fast. And so being in a hurry will slow you down. It's all about the journey. It's all about taking the time to let that new revelation, that new truth, this new learning, let it settle. Let it settle in your soul. Sit with it for a minute. Sit with it before I go run tell people, and sit with it before I even, just sit with it, right? And then it's like it's like a humility. It's a humility. It takes humility to realize, okay, if I was so smart, I would have changed myself 50 years ago. I would have changed this about myself already. And me trying to do it so fast, quick, and in a hurry, and being all impatient and beating myself up and getting into condemnation, that clearly is not helping me. It's right. It's not helping you. So it's like, do I have the humility to say, Lord, let me wait on you. Lord, let me be led by you. I'm going to meditate on this truth. I'm going to think on it. I'm asking you by the power of the Holy Spirit to help me, to remind me, um, and to nudge me in the right direction when I'm in this situation, when I'm in this circumstance, to help me to learn the new truth. Help me to learn and act in the way that I know to be true. And Lord, help me to disentangle from the lie and the old behavior that I was doing before. It's like a humility to go that route, and it's much slower, right? But as long as I'm in my self effort, as long as I'm striving, as long as I'm efforting, and see, there's a fine distinction, right? But if I'm in my self effort, if I'm all in it, like, I'm going to do this, then it's like we're setting ourselves up to fall. We're setting ourselves up to go back into the loop, back into the cycle of trying to do it in our own effort and energy. Again, I love this quote by my mentor, Shannon: slow down, you'll get there faster. And another one that she says, the devil rushes, but God guides. The devil rushes, but God guides. So this is how you know you're being led by the enemy of your soul, when it's all rushy. That voice of anxiety, that voice of rushiness, that voice of panic, that voice of condemnation. Well, you should do, and you should, and you should. That's not God. It's not God. And if you're driven by that voice in your head, that's producing the anxiety, that's producing the impatience, that's producing the spirit of panic. And what does the Bible say? God did not give you a spirit of fear. He gave you power. He gave you love. He gave you a sound mind. So when that voice of anxiety and panic and, oh, you should, and, shut it on down, because it's going to always be peaceful, and it's going to be slow. And if it's a fast voice, just God doesn't talk that fast. It's not a fast, panicky, driven voice. And so if you're led by that, if that's the voice that's in your head, and you're making decisions and you're in the flow of that frequency, then that's what's going to set you up. You're being in a hurry to improve yourself, being impatient with yourself for condemnation. That's what's going to be, that's the voice that you're going to hear. And that's what's driving. And that's what's going to slow you down as you begin to move forward. I'm getting these messages up here on my phone, you guys. It's a little distracting to me. But I just wanted to share that with you. And in your journey, as you begin to move forward, as you continue to go forward, let me share with you really quick. Remember these things. Slow learning is the best learning. When we're renewing our minds, when we're undoing the conditioning of how we were brought up, undoing the conditioning that our trauma and our wounds and our drama taught us, unpacking and dealing with 10, 15, 20, 30 years of ingrained behaviors and conditioning of subconscious stuff that you picked up in your spirit and in your soul. Now you think you're going to change that in 2 seconds. It's going to take some time. Slow learning is the best learning, because why? It's going to root inside of you better. Remember, the devil rushes and God guides. Remember that impatience and condemnation towards yourself is going to slow you down. If you're impatient and condemning towards your own soul, it's going to slow you down. And those of you that are, remember, you're not running with God. You're walking with God. So it's about developing a relationship. When you're healing from a relationship ending, when you're healing from some trauma and drama that you went through, some bad, horrific thing. And there's a lot going on in our country. There's a lot of collective trauma. There's a lot of pain. And so it requires us to be patient with ourselves. We cannot afford to hurry up and rush our process. We can't rush our grief process. We can't rush trying to change ourselves, right? We have to use that time to cultivate a relationship. And see, we want things so fast, quick, and in a hurry. That's not how it works. So we want to be rooted in ourselves, rooted in Him. Take that time to sit, right? And we walk by faith and not by sight. So it's a process of building faith, building relationships, slowing down so that that learning goes deep. So when the trials and the pressures come, it because you've been rooted and you've been grounded and you're established, you're not so quick to revert back to your old way. When I'm in a hurry to change myself and I'm not taking the time to get rooted, as soon as pressure hits, I'm going to default back to my old way. But if I settle down and enjoy the slow learning, then it's going to root in me. Then it's going to be established in me. And so when the pressures of life come, I can stand. Is this making sense to you all on today? So remember, being in a hurry to improve yourself only slows down the process. Take your time, slow down. You will indeed get there faster. So blessings to you all, those of you who are listening that are on this app on today, wherever you're listening in from. My name is Tanika Maria. I'm all about helping people get real, be healed, and move forward in emotional wholeness, peace, and clarity. So if you're not following me, definitely follow. Follow me on my various platforms here on HAPS as well as YouTube. And you can find me on Facebook under my author page, Tanika Maria author page, there on Facebook and also on YouTube. I can be found on Instagram at Get Real Be Healed. Stay tuned and connected. I have different things coming up, and soon I will open up my calendar for complimentary bounce back recovery calls for those of you who are just ending a relationship dynamic and you need clarity and support on what to do next in your healing process. I'll be opening up my calendar for that. And definitely get on my VIP mailing list. You can get that link on Instagram. I think the link is here on HAPS. But you can go to my Instagram page, get on my mailing list so you can be the first one to know when I'm getting ready to open my calendar, and follow me for the books I've written. I have a couple of books out there on Amazon. So thank you so much for listening. Blessings to you, and I'll be back out here again soon. Take care. Bye bye.